Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hello, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all. Episode 376. I'm Sanjay Park.
And I'm Adam Walker, and we have a lot of random episodes, We have a lot of random articles for you today. Like, I couldn't even categorize them together. Like, there weren't good, clear, there's not like an AI category. It's just like, we're going to start with like LibreOffice. Like, I don't even know.
I think there's some cool open source stuff here.
No, it's great. It's great. It's great.
I think it's neat.
Well, I mean, like maybe there's a software category, but then there's a baseball category somewhere in here, and so there's a sports category. I got baseball and NFL.
Right.
So maybe that's a category. Yeah. A little political. We do have Weird and Wacky, which is going to be excellent, and of course, Tech Recs at the end. You're going to want to hear my Tech Rec for this week. It's really good. So.
And by the way, how did you pronounce this first one?
I thought it was LibreOffice. Is that not how you pronounce it?
I thought it was LibreOffice.
Listen, man, I have absolutely no idea. And that, my friends, tells us they have a branding problem. So I don't care either way because I'm not using it. But go ahead and tell us what's the
LibreOffice downloads on the rise as users look to avoid subscription costs. I use LibreOffice on my Linux laptop, but I use Microsoft Office on my Windows desktop. But I think it's fantastic. So it's a great solution if you don't want to have to buy an annual subscription to Microsoft Office.
I don't pay for Microsoft Office, and I just convert documents to Google Docs, or there's an Office editor built into Dropbox as well online. And so you can edit Word docs in that. So I just do one of the two and don't ever, I haven't paid for an Office subscription in, I can't even tell you how long. It's been decades. So yeah. So I'm fine.
I've had to have one for, I don't know, every now and again, there's some docs that just don't open up right in other things.
Right.
So I've had it, but maybe we're at the point now where it doesn't matter and I can get rid of that. That might
I think you're safe to get rid of it. I mean, basically, like if there's ever a choice, should I or should I not get rid of a Microsoft product? The answer is always yes, except for Xbox. That's the only one that has not been yes so far. So I'm just saying, I'm typically a Microsoft hater. I'm sorry. It's just, I have been for a long time. I've been overly frustrated with Microsoft for a very long period of time. So,
I gotta say, I do love the Xbox. The
Xbox is great. They have not ruined it like they have other things. So props to Microsoft for not ruining a good thing.
And I think part of that might be because they set up a whole separate campus.
That's right. That's correct.
For Xbox. Yes. I remember going back to them because they were actually a client of ours from my very first startup. And I went to that campus and it was hopping. It was nice.
I bet it was cool.
Video games in the lobby, and going to see their server room.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty
Speaking of things that are not hopping, Honey has now lost 4 million Chrome users after shady tactics were revealed. So remind me what these shady, they were not putting in the best deal because it didn't get them the best affiliate link deal. Was that what it was?
Well, that was part of it, but then they also deleted other people's affiliate links. Even if they couldn't get you a deal, they would delete those. But even if they could get you a deal, then they would delete those and then take over. So it was a lot of stuff. It was just a lot of stuff. And then, like you said, they would maybe have deals with some people to not then give you the best coupon codes because they didn't want you to use those.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, I disabled Honey on all of my devices and no longer using it. And I would advise other people to do the same.
Yeah, you might want to just go check and see if you have it. If you've got this little thing that pops up that says Honey, you might want to uninstall.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did very recently. So we're done. So there you go.
Not great. In our little sports block here, we've got some interesting things here. First up, Yankees have an MIT physicist that built them the torpedo bat. I've not seen a game with this bat.
I haven't seen a game, but it looks really weird.
It does look weird.
Yeah, like it bulges in the middle where the sweet spot of the bat should be, and then tapers at the end. I assume because they want more wood where the ball's going to hit. It gives it maybe more bounce, I don't know.
Changes maybe the center of gravity, or I don't know what it changes. But apparently the MLB rules are it has to be of this width maximum, and then there is no shaping to the bat.
Yeah.
So they're playing within the rules, but it's changing the results. So the Yankees got the most ever, a franchise maximum number of home runs in this game, where they used this bat. And so, yeah, like the old records might not be the old records anymore. The ones that have stood the test of time because of this change. But I think what this goes to show, I think there's a broader story here.
Okay.
Is kids learning math and science can be very important, because this was not just a guess thing of figuring this out. This was a lot of math and science and physics to figure this stuff out. These sports have a lot of those things in it. So maybe you're not good enough to go to the MLB and be a baseball player. That's okay. You can still be involved in baseball by doing things like this.
I think the other lesson for kids is that just because something's been done a certain way forever doesn't mean it cannot be improved under the same guidelines as the other thing, which they clearly did. So props. I have a feeling this is going to get banned because it feels like it's going to become like a home run derby in every stadium. But before it gets banned, it sounds kind of awesome. So,
it's going to be crazy times, I think. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Speaking of crazy times, and people are going to lose their minds, I think, potentially. Say goodbye to chain crews. The NFL will use camera technology to measure first downs. And so, the whole chain, and they go out there and they're stretching the chain. It's all this, a lot of drama.
I gotta say,
chain, and it doesn't.
Never understood the chains at all.
Yeah.
Like, how do they know the start and the, is it just,
it's just where the ref spots it, wherever the ref spotted it, and from the spot of the last one. So it's still subject to some degree to the ref spotting. Now, I don't know if this technology changes that, but the ref would spot it, and then they would, stretch the chain and, did it get from the last spot?
But why a chain? Like, what if the thing gets kinked? Then it's not going to be 10 yards anymore. Yeah, I mean, I do feel like a cable would have made more sense, right? Like a clear, like a straight cable. But I mean, they didn't ask us. So, but now they're not going to have to worry about it because they're going to install 6 cameras in every stadium, and they're going to use that technology. And I think it's Sony technology, if I'm remember correctly. Yeah, it is
to tell if it's first down or not. Which is
here's the lesson learned on this story. Mm-hmm. They should always ask the two of us what they should be doing.
That's really true for everything technology related. And
look, if you have a company out there and you're thinking about doing something, run it by us first.
Yeah, we got you covered. Yeah,
we'll tell you if it's good or bad. Yeah, and we'll tell you how to do it better.
Yes.
And I mean, I think it's just that simple. I don't understand why this has not gotten out there.
I think it's just that simple.
I mean, it's just that simple. Yeah.
Speaking of things that are not that simple, Sanjay.
This is not that simple and a lot worse than they said it was going to be. Who is surprised? Nobody. Waltz's team set up at least 20 Signal group chats for crises around the world. Here's the subtext of this. Hey, it's good enough for the government. Why don't you use Signal too? If you're not using Signal yet, you should. Yeah. And I will tell you, I have seen an influx of people that are in my contacts list that are now all of a sudden on Signal.
Those people are a specific party affiliation then, is what you also know based on that. So
maybe.
I'm just saying that seems like because they're probably getting government plans from these 20 group chats is what's happening. Yeah.
Okay. So I will tell you another funny little story. On Signal now, you can add people based on their username, even if you don't know their phone number.
Ooh, interesting.
I might have tried Hexeth.01, Hexeth.02, and Hexeth.03. Then I gave up because it was just too boring to do. I just wanted to see if I could find.
You want to see if you randomly scoot into a conversation there. That's pretty fantastic. I love that.
Hey, bro, got those plans for me?
You and every other journalist on the planet were trying that. Yeah. I mean, this goes back to what you said last week, which is that not only it's not so much the use of Signal, it's the fact they should not be using a device that can use Signal to talk about government things. Yeah. And in our friend Mickey, that's been a co-host on the show before. I mean, he wrote a blog post sort of citing you about it. And then he added to it. He's like, the whole controversy with Hillary Clinton back in the day was that she had an email server that was not a sanctioned government email server and was communicating on an unsanctioned non-government device. And that's exactly what's happening here. It's just instead of it being an email server, it's a cell phone still it's the exact same thing. Like, so.
And they kept chanting, lock her up.
Well, yeah.
Where's the chance now?
Yeah, I mean, without going down the political path here, my point is simply that both parties have done this, and it's a bad idea. There's a reason that there's standardized equipment for the government to use in secure communication, and there's a reason you should not circumvent that. So
it was funny. I was listening to something else about this, and they commented on how when President Obama had so many issues when he came into office because he wanted a BlackBerry, and they wouldn't let him have a BlackBerry and then they finally figured out a solution, like a special BlackBerry for him that was secured and everything. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you want your things, you want your tools, but you've got to play within the lines. And he did. He played within the lines and he used this special BlackBerry, which I'm sure was not exactly the same as the BlackBerry everybody else had.
Heavily
and not as
modified, for sure.
Not as usable because it had some special stuff on there and a little bit more clunkier, but it was safe. And he did it, and he did the right thing by doing that because it kept everything safe. Like, we've not had any leaks from his time in office.
And for those of you that were not around when the BlackBerry existed, the BlackBerry was the kind of original smartphone. It had a physical keyboard. Everybody really loved it a lot. But then the iPhone came out and sort of annihilated it, and BlackBerry couldn't get its crap together and stay current with the times. So it went under, and that's the story of the BlackBerry.
Did you ever have a BlackBerry?
I actually did not. No,
I never did either.
I mean, there was all the hype around it, but I wasn't really in a corporate setting at that time.
Yeah.
And like when they were really hyped up, it was like mostly corporate settings, using those people, using that stuff. And so I never ended up getting one. So I just went straight from, dumb Nokia phone to awesome iPhone was kind of my jump there. And it worked out great.
You didn't have a Motorola Razr? That was my phone.
I did not. I did have a Razr briefly, I think, at one point. Yeah. I mean, you got to understand, my first real job out of college was selling cell phones. Which is so funny to me that I think about, like, I don't know why I didn't think like I should go get a regular like college graduate job, which would be like entry level at like some corporate office. I didn't do that. I just went for like, I'm going to go sell cell phones. Like, I don't know. Whatever. It worked out fine.
That's what you're supposed to do, right? After you get the college degree, you go sell cell phones.
I mean, I was there with a lot of people that had not spent a lot of time and money getting a degree. So, I mean, they were obviously smarter than I was at the time. So it was fine. It was a learning experience to say. I mean, I did sell cell phones at a Singular Wireless in Chattanooga, Tennessee, off of Gun Barrel Road. So just
inside of a Walmart, right? Or
inside of a Walmart.
Yeah.
So just imagine the stories I have. Like, they're amazing. So
worth their weight in gold.
I'll leave it at that. So
yeah.
All right. Next up, Walt says, that was the next one. Sorry. Mozilla. You're going to love this. Mozilla launching Thundermail email service to take on Gmail, Microsoft 365. First of all, Thundermail, best branding ever. Way better than that LibreOffice crap. Number one. Okay. Thundermail. What's the dot? The whatever dot, is it going to be Thundermail? Like, I mean, am I going to be like Adam Walker at Thundermail? Like, is that
maybe? I don't know.
It
but
feels a little long, right?
I am excited about this. Yeah. I'm interested in this because I am a Thunderbird user.
Right.
Obviously, that's where they get the name from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently there's going to be I think a Thundermail Pro or a Thunderbird Pro or something like that.
Okay.
So there's going to be additional features for paid service on there. They're going to open up free eventually, but they're going to start with the paid service, which is an interesting approach. So they'll start paid only.
Yeah.
And then ad free. Yeah. Whereas most people ad free first.
Isn't it like hey.com that does that too? There's like an email service. Isn't that
it's only paid. They don't do any free.
Okay.
That's from the Ruby on Rails people, those guys.
Got it.
Basecamp, all those things.
Right.
So hey.com. So I think this is interesting. I think it's a good thing to have maybe another option in the marketplace. I mean, there are many other options, right? There's Proton and there's Fastmail and there's all of these things, but something that's very well known to end consumers. Although Firefox doesn't have a huge percentage of the market, and actually I'm one less a Firefox user now since I've moved on to LibreFox. LibreFox?
No,
is that what it's called? Yeah, that's what it's called, right? LibreFox. Yeah,
I have no idea.
Now I'm wondering.
It's called Foxeronomy. foxwellmedia.com.
Libre Wolf.
Yeah, see, totally different.
Is it
totally different,
Libre
man.
or what did we say in the beginning?
We need to, I call it Libre, and I say it with confidence and authority, which makes people think that I'm right and I know what I'm talking about. That's
the most important thing.
You just got to go in with confidence and authority, man. That's it. Like just boldly. Yeah.
And you're also a Libre Wolf.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to be like, those are two different browsers.
Yeah, they're totally different. What is the problem, man?
So we'll see what happens with Thundermail. I am excited about it. I will take a hard look at it when it comes out. We'll see what they do, if it's different, if it's better. Maybe if it's good, I might move off of G Suite with my domain. Yeah. And that's another thing that we have said time and time again to people on this podcast.
Have your own domain.
You should have your own domain because it makes moving from a service to another service very, very easy.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not tied to that email address and their weird domain names that might be like thundermail.net or whatever.
Thundermail.
It should come with that kind of sound effect though too. Every time you open a mail,
instead of
you've got Thundermail.
It's not you've got mail. Thundermail has arrived. It's like there's like a Viking, they're like chancing at you. That seems right. Yeah.
You should have like a beating drum, or
maybe like Thor. Like, is it Thor, the god of thunder? Isn't that
he
like
is the god of thunder.
Thundermail has arrived? So.
Yeah. So it should have a hammer with it too.
Yeah, that's right.
Something else that's having a hammer with it, maybe we'll see. Mark Cuban backs Skylight, a TikTok alternative built on Blue Sky's underlying technology. What do we think? Is it going to succeed? Is it going to be useful? Is anybody going to use it?
I love the concept. The problem with these is always critical mass. Like I'll go sign up and I'll be one of, 10,000 people on there probably. And the content won't be that great because all the best content creators are still going to be on TikTok because TikTok's algorithm is just freaking amazing.
Well, and you never know. This Saturday is the deadline for them to be sold off. And
is it this Saturday?
It's the 5th of April.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean,
it might be getting shut down again.
Maybe we'll see. There's so much value and there's so much economic value for the US created through the app for small businesses, for creators. Like
you are like regurgitate. I've been seeing their commercials lately for TikTok talking only about this. Like TikTok helps support small businesses.
I mean, it does. Yeah, it really does, though.
I think you're a shill for China. You're like doing their talking points now.
That's what happened. Last time I went over there, they indoctrinated. They're like, listen, 7 years from now, you're going to need to rep this thing that called TikTok that doesn't even exist
yet. So in
yet.
7 years, we know your TikTok y'all listenership is going to be huge. This is what we need you to do.
And we need you to
it's going to be in the tens. Yeah. And that's going to be the tipping point.
That's what's going to happen.
That 12th listener you got is the most important one.
I do follow a lot of small businesses and content creators on there that do make a living from it. And
you should not be following.
Only when you show up at their house, because there is a content creator and he came on there. One of his videos, he goes, listen, y'all, I can't believe I'm having to make this video. You cannot show up at my house. I don't care if you think we're friends. Like, I don't know. You cannot. Like, it was pretty funny. It was really well done. Okay. That's really creepy right there. So go figure.
That's awful.
All right. Last up before Weird and Wacky, Zelle is shutting down its app, but you probably don't need to worry because nobody uses the app anyway. And they all transfer it through other crap because
they have an app.
That's I'm telling you, I didn't even know they had an app. Zelle. I've hated Zelle since it came out. I just hate it. I don't know why. I just hate it. I hate it like Microsoft. I hate it.
I'm okay with it. I've paid people. Why do you hate it so much? I feel like
because
it's
clunky and it doesn't have a good app and it's harder. Like I have to oh, you want me to pay, like Mr. Plumber? You want me to pay you through Zelle? Sure. Let me go log in to my bank account online, and then let me go add your email address to it, and then let me do a bank transfer to your It's just this like clunky, awful process. When Venmo is so much easier and so much faster, and it's like Venmo is slick. It's well done. It's easy. Zelle is like corporate America. Like bloat is what it is. And Venmo is like Silicon Valley startup disruptor. Like that's the difference. I don't like the corporate America bloat. It's just never been my thing. So hence the, t-shirt and fedora. I'm not a corporate America kind of dude. So
No BlackBerry, no corporate anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer.
One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
First up in Weird and Wacky, and oh my gosh, this is Weird and Wacky. Warner Brothers completes worldwide sale of Coyote versus Acme. So this was a movie that they made for, I don't remember how much, $50 million? Okay. $75 million, something like that?
Right.
And they decided it did not test well. And it's got a lot of actors that you and I know.
Yeah.
And they decided it's not even worth the effort to release it. So we're just going to take a write-off on it and take a hit on the taxes because we got a lot of money from other things. Yeah. And we're never going to show it. Even though they made the whole thing.
It's done. Even though it's done. Yeah. Yeah.
But they would have to obviously spend more money to promotion and distribution and all that stuff.
Right.
So somebody else has now bought the movie, the worldwide rights, and is going to release it. And so there you go. I think they paid, it sounds like around $50 million. So less than what it cost to make it.
Right.
So they made back some of their expenses, but now they're not involved in the distribution. So we'll see if this company can make a go out of it.
I don't know that I'll be watching it. Maybe if it comes to streaming. But otherwise, this is not gonna go to the box office kind of movie for me.
Yeah, it is a funny premise, right? Yeah. So it's the coyote from the Roadrunner coyote things suing the Acme company for all of the failures of the products that the coyote has been trying to use.
That is a good premise.
It's actually very funny. It's very nostalgic because you're instantly flashing back to all the cartoons you've seen where the Acme product has failed.
I mean, speaking of, where are those cartoons? Where have they gone? Seriously, you can't see them anymore. Yeah. They don't. It's they're not on streaming anywhere. Where do they exist in the world? Where can I go and watch a Roadrunner cartoon with my 9-year-old? That's
a good question.
I would like to know that. So if any listeners have answers, please tell me.
I got to tell you, I used to wake up when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. So this is in the 80s, probably 70s and 80s. Okay. Mainly the 80s. And I would wake up super early on Saturday mornings. Yeah. Before anybody else in the house was up.
I'm so surprised.
And I think starting at 6 a.m., I think Superman was on.
Yeah.
The in-person, the real life, black and white. Yeah. Right after that, Lost in Space, black and white. And then started the cartoons. Super Friends.
Yeah.
Kind of down the line. So I was watching TV for a couple of hours every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
All of those cartoons, I don't know where you can see them anymore.
I will say this. Many of those cartoons have not aged well. I did happen across one of those kind of random cartoons. It was a Warner Brothers one, I think, but I'm not sure. And it was on my Reels feed, and I was watching it with my son. I was like, oh, let's watch this. It's an old timey cartoon. It's fun. And it was different types of funny cars. Oh, look at this car with the hole in the roof in case you have a pet giraffe. But then it had the special cars for women with extra mirrors and it's very misogynistic for about women being bad drivers and stuff. Yeah. I was oh yeah, this would not make it today. No. And I was very, not great. So
yeah. And also kids watching that probably didn't get the joke.
Probably didn't get the joke. It was a little too adult for those kids. Yeah, for sure. So
yeah, I guess it was targeted towards the parents.
Speaking of things, games and adults, Tinder's new AI powered game assesses your flirting skills. So if you think you're not good at flirting on Tinder, which apparently you have to do a lot of flirting on there. I don't know. You can play the game. It's the game. So I guess it's about your flirting game, your dating game. It's the game. You can try to flirt with the AI that'll teach you how to better flirt with the humans. So
I got to tell you, Adam, I am so glad that you and I are old enough that we didn't have access or the ability to use these things. Yeah. We talk about dating apps often on this show, me and you. Yeah, but we have no first person experience of any of these things.
Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. If I had to rely on a dating app, I think I'd go on 0 dates. Just straight zero. I would be so pathetic on the trying to type back. I would just I couldn't do it.
Yeah. So yeah. And then the pictures of you in the fedora and stuff, they'd be just no.
Yeah, they'd be dork.
Yeah. Orange galoshes, no.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
All right, Sanjay, it's Tech Wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
I've got a little interesting little device. So it's another Shelly device. I've talked about Shelly devices before. But this time, so here's the setup. We wanted to add another light in our kitchen, over our kitchen sink. So we had not planned for one there. And so we needed one there, but, we had to kind of wire it off of the other canned lights that we already have there, but we wanted to control it separately. Couldn't do that because we don't have another switch. We don't have power to another switch and the whole thing. So what we did was I put this little guy, I had my electrician do this, but this little guy in between the other can lights and this light. And so what this little guy does, it's the Shelly One Mini Gen 3, is it does Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on one side, and it is essentially a switch. And so I've got it connected to this one light. And so when the power comes on in the kitchen, it's set to automatically stay off. And then I can use a remote switch to tell that little Shelly to turn the power on to that light. And so I can turn the light on over the kitchen sink. So it's like it's independently controlled. And we didn't have to do a crazy amount of wiring to make this all happen and tear open walls and things like that. So
that's great.
So you can use these things to do some interesting stuff. If you don't have smart switches in your house, you can actually use these things to put them in behind your light switch to make them into smart switches.
Nice.
And this thing runs about $15. So it's pretty inexpensive. You can find the link in the show notes, but it's a really neat way of making things smart, that aren't smart right now, and doing them in a way that makes it not be obvious that you've done any of this stuff. And so
that's great. Love it.
It works with a app on your phone, or it can work with a home automation system like we've got. So
fantastic.
There you go. What about you, Adam? What do you have for us this week?
So I think I've talked about this before, but I just started reusing it again. So I gotta recommend Loom.com. So before I was using Dropbox Capture, but unfortunately Dropbox Capture got deprecated. And so,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were shutting it down or whatever. So I moved over to Loom. Loom gives you the ability to record a video message, and then you can see when somebody watches the message and they leave comments. They can also leave a video reply to you, but you can also do screen recordings. And so like the coolest feature, here's the coolest feature. So last weekend we had a 48 and 48 event where we were, that's my nonprofit where we build 48 free nonprofit websites in 48 hours. And so we had a 48 and 48 event, and I needed to walk somebody through a process for how to do something. So I set up a Loom recording. It recorded my screen. It recorded my voice. And I walked through, click here, do this, blah, 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 blah. Then I was able to go into a screen, and it used AI to automatically generate a standard operating procedure document with step 1, screenshot directions, step 2, screenshot directions, step 3. So it walked through this entire document. And then I was also able to copy that, paste it into a document. And then at the top, I was able to embed the actual walkthrough video that it did for me.
Oh, cool.
So now they can click and see the walkthrough video that I did, or they can see the written step-by-step with screenshot instructions. And literally, I did a 3-minute recording. That's all I did. And then at the end of it, I had this massive document with all this information that I could hand over to volunteers to do stuff and walk them through it. Cool. And it was amazing. So
that's awesome.
I'm loving Loom. It is an amazing way to communicate. In fact, I had a follow-up email I was going to do to somebody because they said hey, why don't you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you've done in the past? And I was like, instead of making that an email, can I just record it and send you a link to the video? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. And so I did a 3-minute recording. Hey, I'm Adam. This is what I do. This is what I'm about. Blah, 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 blah. Here's what you need to know about me. Boom, I'm out. And then I can even see if people watched it. And it's more personable. And it's just so great all around.
Yeah.
So highly, highly, highly recommend it. I do believe that video communication on a service like Loom at some point will become a major mainstream way to communicate. I don't know when that will happen, but there will be a time where it'll be common to send you a video message as opposed to an email. So,
video instead of voice or email.
Yeah. I think, because think about it, video communicates so much, it's so much faster.
Yeah.
And so much better. The communication when you can see somebody and listen to them is so much better than in written communication. So
I agree. I used to poo-poo this video call thing. I was like, audio is just good enough. I mean, this is like years and years ago.
Right.
And then we've gone all, and it's like, it really does add this level of depth that you just don't get. And I can't put my finger on what it's the body language or something, but there's a level of depth that you just get out of video. So that's pretty cool.
Totally agree.
I'll have to check that out.
Loom.com. Check it out. All right, Sanjay, how can the listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjayparikh.com. What about you, Adam?
You can find me at adamjwalker.com.
Dun, dun, dun.